Hello.
Hi.
There's a Liv here, which obviously means only one thing.
You can't tell by our tops already.
It is another round of Royal Readathon. We're in a slightly different setting as well. We're using my living room instead of my bedroom because there's more room here.
I can move.
So much space. But the next round is, of course, May, which is our third birthday.
Yeah.
Third birthday, because 2020 was our first year doing it. It's our third.
How has it been 3 years already?
I have no idea. We've done so many different rounds as well. We're sort of taking a little, not a step back, but a bit more chill this year. And only doing two. We're doing two. So we're doing May, and then we're doing August. That's it. But this is the May one. What's it called?
Epic Eras.
So no one actually guessed, I don't think, on the Twitter. It was very... I would have been shocked if anyone did guess, because I don't think it was very obvious.
No.
Some people are close on the August one, but no one's actually got August's. But, because we did little emoji hints, in case you aren't on Twitter, should mention that.
Royal Readathon.
But, so this one is obviously the 1st of May to the 31st of May. There's no point system this time. It's just back to the old basics, like we've always done. It's just prompts, fit books to the prompts, and that's it.
The rules are there are no rules.
If you want to stretch it.
Stretch it till it's paper thin. Wafer thin.
Do it. And in fact, if you stretch it well enough, I'm going to be impressed. You can have a round of applause.
Let us know how far you stretch it.
As long as it loosely fits the prompt, or you think it fits the prompt, and you can explain why. There you go. There you go. The books you read have to be read within May. So if you do start a book on like the 30th of April, as long as you read a majority of the book in May, that's fine. Same as if you start a book on the 31st of May and you finish it, like you finish the last little bit on the 1st of June. That's absolutely fine. You don't need to ask us. You can log it. The submission form is going to be linked down below, as will the sign-up form. The sign-up form and the submission form don't get you any points. It's just, we're nosy. We like to see how many books and pages are being read.
I'm very, very nosy.
Very nosy.
Very nosy.
But there is absolutely no points. This is not a competition one this time. We're just, we're taking it chill this time. We're
Chill
not
pill.
pitting against each other this time.
No, we're actually going to be friends this time.
I still won last time.
All right. All right. There are 14 prompts.
And there are different categories for each prompt.
Yes. We will explain more, because I feel like that needs to be explained slightly in more depth.
Yeah.
About these epic eras. So epic eras are the eras of Disney. If you're a Disney fan, you know that there are certain eras that Disney use. We have the Bronze Era, the Silver Era, the Golden Era, the Renaissance, the Post-Renaissance, and the Revival Era.
So yeah, the way we've done this, we've each picked a favourite film from each era and then come up with a prompt for that film. So yeah, even though we have our own like prompts and favourites and that, again, not a competition. You don't have to just read my prompts or just read Liv's prompts. You don't even have to read all of them. You can just pick and choose whatever ones you want. It's not a competition. I feel like I need to keep, because a lot of readathons now are competitions. This is not a competition.
No, there's no points involved, no storyline, there's nothing involved.
Just if you like that prompt,
read books.
Fill that prompt. If you don't like that prompt, you don't need to do it.
If you want to make it into something, you can pick a prompt from each era. If you don't want to read all the prompts, you can pick one person, the other person. You could pick all of them, or you could try and mix the prompts and pick a book for the Bronze Era by using both of our prompts if you really want to push yourself out there. But like I said earlier, the rule is there are no rules.
And with like choosing one book for multiple prompts, there is no rules around that. If you can find a book, if you want to do one book per prompt, fine. If you want to use one book for like 7 prompts, that's fine. I don't think it'd be possible, but if you wanted to use one book for all 14 prompts, I will be impressed.
I was about to say, if you do find a book that fits all 14
Please tell
prompts,
us.
please, I would like to know.
I need to know if that's possible, because I don't think it is, but I'm not going to try and do that. So yeah, that's basically it. So we're just going to go with the prompts now and tell you what the prompts are. I think that's all of the rules.
I don't think we can actually tell you any more times. There are no rules.
So yeah, also I would like to say any graphics that you see are courtesy of this one. I think these might be my favourite graphics. I say it every time, but these ones I think actually are my favourites.
I think these ones are my favourites as well. I love the colours in it.
They're amazing. So yeah, I will also be putting on the Twitter the prompts, and it will have like the alt text and everything. So everything will be on the Twitter once this goes live. Yes.
So we're going to start off with the Bronze era, the classic era, the era that started it all.
The OG. So the first prompt is Pinocchio. Now you might be thinking, if you know me, but you hate Pinocchio. And that is why the prompt for this is to read a horror or a thriller, because it's a horrifying film.
I think I watched it once and I've never watched it again. Like,
Same.
no.
I don't actually have a favourite film from the Bronze era, so this was the best I could do for this one.
Yeah. I've picked Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because I'm a princess and it worked. Again, classic era is not my era of film. The Bronze era, I enjoy Snow White, but it's very problematic. But anyway, we'll move on. The prompt is read a book with a family dispute. That it could be any form of family dispute. It could be an evil stepmother. Very Snow White of me to say that. Any form of family dispute. Any argument. It could be a minor argument. If you really want to stretch your paper thin, it could be one argument in one page of a book.
So the next era is the Silver era, and I did actually have a favourite from this one, and it is Sword in the Stone. And if you haven't watched Sword in the Stone,
I'm gonna go hide.
Then you should watch Sword in the Stone if you have access to Disney Plus. It is on there. Please watch it. It's amazing. And the prompt for this is to read a book with learning, because in this, there's a whole like teacher-student dynamic, apprentice, wizard, just so good. Yeah, a book with learning. So it can be any book set in a school. Like, it doesn't even need to be set in a school actually, but like we'll go with set in a school is probably the easiest way to fill this prompt. But if there's any sort of learning, even if it's got the word learn or learning in the title, so Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert, that'd work because the word is in the title.
It could even be an apprenticeship or self-learning. They could go and visit a library. My prompt for the Silver era is Peter Pan. Love the film, really enjoy it, love Tinkerbell. And that prompt is read a book with an adventure. Obviously, any adventure. I find it adventurous to go down to the local supermarket. So any form of adventure. Obviously, Wendy and Peter fly off on an adventure together. It's a very self-explanatory prompt. The next era is the Golden Era, one of the best eras. I say that. The next one's probably the best era. The next era.
Yeah.
But the Golden Era is a good era. It's good films. And we have 2 prompts for that.
So my prompt is Oliver and Company. And again, if you haven't seen it, please see it. It's such a cute film. I love it. And the prompt for this is read a book set in a city. So literally any city. Any city. It could be a fantasy world, but as long as it is a city and not like just a little town or village, a city, and it works. Doesn't even have to be the whole book that's set in a city. As long as some of it is set in a city, it's going to work for this prompt. Again, loosely filling these prompts works.
Wafer thin. My movie for this one is The Aristocats, which the prompt is read a book with an animal on the cover. Really quite simple. Any animal on any cover. It could be in the title.
Any animal, even a mythical animal.
Mythical animals. It could be a unicorn.
A dragon.
That's probably more likely to be on a cover than a unicorn.
There are some books with unicorns.
This is true. I love a unicorn.
The next era is probably the best era, and it is the Renaissance. And my favourite for this is Hercules, because of course it is. And my prompt for this is read a book with strength. So this can be literally anything. And when we say you can stretch a prompt, if you want to choose a big book that you're going to need to be strong to hold up, you can literally use that to fit the prompt. That's it. But the strength can be physical strength, mental strength, literally any strength whatsoever.
Yay. Now, surprise, surprise for my movie for this one. Mulan. If I haven't told you already, love Mulan. Lovely Shang. But the prompt for this one is read a book with societal standards. Now, it may seem like a scary prompt, so easy to fill. Any form of societal standards, any form of peer pressure, any form of this, you need to be doing this because you're this type of person, any form of peer pressure, societal standards, yeah, it works. Anything. If you think that a character is being forced to do something that they don't want to do, that is societal standards and can be used for this prompt. Again, wafer thin.
If you're someone that reads historical books, any historical book is going to fit for this because society was like a big thing.
Yeah. And most fantasy books have some form of societal standard that people need to uphold.
And again, any book set in a school would work because schools
to
always have like cliques and stuff with different types of people. Like there's always the emo kids and like the jocks and everything. So there's always going to be that sort of thing in a school setting.
Now we're on to the post-Renaissance. I love the post-Renaissance. Again, it's got some really good movies in it.
The film I picked is Atlantis, The Lost Empire, because it is one of the best Disney films. And the prompt for this is to read an underrated book, because guess what? This film is underrated.
Everyone needs to go watch it.
Not enough people have watched it. And it's amazing. But yeah, any underrated book. If you haven't seen this book talked about a lot, it's going to fit for this prompt. If you have not heard a lot of people talking about this book, then you can fit it. It doesn't have to be a well-known underrated book, because that sort of doesn't make sense at all. Literally any underrated book will work for this.
My movie is Lilo and Stitch. I love Lilo and Stitch. It's adorable and I watch it on a regular basis because it is hilarious and cute and it makes me cry. But then again, which Disney movie doesn't make me cry? And the prompt for that is read a book with a found family. Ohana means family.
Family means nobody gets left behind.
I don't think anything else needs to be said about that prompt. But any form of found family, that could be an adopted family, a foster family, it could be a family of friends, it could be a coven of witches, it could be a group of vampires, any form of found family.
And in the final era, we actually have both picked two from this era because we couldn't choose just one. So we both picked two. And this is the era of revival. So it's basically the newer, like the newest era that is around. So my two prompts, the first one is Tangled. Read a book with a sun on the cover. This can literally be a picture of the sun, or the word can be in the title. That is as simple as that. And then the second prompt for me is Raya and the Last Dragon, because no one talks about this film and it's so good. And for this, it's read a book with a transformation. This can be literally any sort of transformation, a physical transformation, so a book with like shapeshifters, or it can be a mental transformation, like just any sort of transformation, or even if it's a book that follows a character throughout their life, that will work because people change throughout their lives.
Now, I have picked two. The first one I've picked is Moana. I love Moana and the songs always get stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
And for this prompt, we have taken it from a certain shiny crab. It's called, the prompt is read a book with a shiny cover.
Shiny.
Any form of shiny cover. It doesn't have to be like metallic shiny. It could just be a glossy book. There are lots of glossy books out there. Any form of shine. It could have the smallest speck of shimmer in it, and you're fine. If you find it shiny, it's shiny. And
if it's foiled, even better.
oh, the foiling. The last prompt is in Canto, which is read a book with a small community. Again, might seem like a daunting prompt. Really simple. Small group of friends. A club in a school. It could be, in fantasy, it could be a small village. Any form of small community, a small group that, you know, comes together.
Coven of Witches would work as well.
Coven of Witches.
It's their little
I
community.
think found family and small community would work well together if
Yeah.
you are combining your prompts. So there we have it.
They are all 14 prompts. If you do have any questions, I do think we have covered everything, but if you do have any questions, if it is about if a book will fit for a prompt, if you were going to ask if a particular book fits a prompt, then the answer is going to be
Yes.
if you think it fits, it fits. Like, that is the answer to that question every time. But yeah, I think we've gone over everything. But if you do have any questions that we haven't answered, then just comment below, message us on Twitter or something, and one of us will get back to you. If it's on the video, then it will most likely be me, because I get the notification.
Yeah, I as much as I like look at the comments, I don't get notified, so I might not be there.
But yeah, I hope you join us for May. Everything will be in the description box below. But yeah, I'm so excited. And there will, I almost forgot about this, there will be a 48-hour readathon over the, funnily enough, King's coronation weekend, because I will not be watching it, so I'll be free, and we will have the lovely Tori from A Scottish Lass Reads helping us out with that and doing some sprints with us. So we will post more details on that nearer the time, but 48-hour readathon with lots of sprints throughout both the days, and we're very excited. So hope you enjoyed this video, hope you're going to join in, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.